Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 391. Today what we did, or what we are doing, is finally getting on that pegboard. This is the third part in the series. If you haven't seen the first two, make sure you jump back and see those, because we're actually going to start on a pegboard now. When we start on a pegboard, we're assuming that we have asymmetric pulling strength. That means that I can go ahead and I can have my arms at two different levels and still be able to pull. And we're also assuming that we have dynamic pulling strength, which is the workout that we did yesterday, the drill we did yesterday. We were able to take something that confined our hands, either two rings or the TRX, and be able to move those up and down while under load, okay? Now finally, when we get up here, we're gonna just give ourselves two cues that I want you guys to work on today when we first start this. Now, first and foremost, safety reasons, of course. If you've never done this before, don't travel all the way up to the top up there, okay? We're just gonna go one or two peg holes up and then come on back down in a controlled descent. So, first and foremost, when we get up here, we have to understand the dynamics of pulling, okay? The first thing I wanna make sure you guys can do is when we take our pegs, right, is that we make sure that we pull up to the top peg. You can see here, if I pull down to here, it makes it really hard to get up to the next one. If I go ahead and I pull to the top peg and stabilize at whichever end is that top peg, then I have a much easier job at getting into this peg. I can kind of just hang out here. I pull to that top peg. I pull to that top peg, okay? Now, the second key point is centering my body over whichever peg it is that I'm pulling to, okay? So if you come around to the side right here, you're gonna notice that I don't stay off to the side when I pull to this left pad. And you'll actually see my body shimmy a little bit to the left and to the right. The reason being is because if I don't shimmy and I don't center that peg into my chest, if I center it just to the side, when I pull this arm out, my body's gonna wanna swing out and to the side because it wants to center itself anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna counteract that by pulling the peg down to, not to the outside here, but to the chest here. So that way my body can center over it and I don't get that swing as much, okay? So let me just show you that little oscillation that'll happen. I pull to the outside, I pull to the outside, I pull to the outside, and so forth. And coming down the same way. The last point I just want to tell you guys is to not let the pegs get away from you. I saw, especially watching all the athletes at the games, there were certain people that have obviously used pegboards before. And then there was a group of people that seemed like they probably never seen it before. That group of people let the pegs get too far away from them. And when you're not able to keep those pegs close to your body, what you do is you tend up reaching like that, and you're never gonna get all the way up there. So it's really, really important that you do two things. We're just gonna recap and stop there. One, you pull your chest up to the top peg, whichever one that top peg may be. Two, you center that top peg over top of your chest rather than just pulling straight down to your side. Because when you pull straight down to your side and you let that other body of support, that other peg come out, you're gonna wanna swing over anyway. Now, counteracting that swing and by starting in the center is much easier than allowing that momentum of your body to take you to the side. You'll end up starting to swing to the side, and that's gonna be much harder to overcome than if it's just stationary in the first place. Guys, I hope this helps you out. Safe travels, safe training with those pegboards. Please make sure that you use proper precautionary steps and put something underneath them, not like I'm doing myself today. Guys, until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.